Hello there! Welcome to the Clark side. I am Clark. Before we begin, please remember to chill touch that like button, subscribe to join the Skeleton Crew, and if you enjoy the content on this channel, please check out the links in the description below. It would help us out a ton, and we would really appreciate it. And without any further ado, let me toss it over to Jess as she takes us further into the depths of Waterdeep.
All right, so last session we left off with actually doing a small little side quest. Does anyone remember what that was? I believe it was for the Enclave?
Yes,
Enclave?
we went and killed some scarecrows that were attacking the farms on the outskirts of town.
Yep. And then right before that, you had visited the dead from that big fireball.
Yes.
And you spoke with the dead.
Ooh.
And what you still have left to do, as far as factions are concerned, is there's a Zentara mission that you got word from, and another Emerald Enclave mission since you were successful at the last one. Or you can continue on your main path and follow up the clues that you got from speaking with the dead and with the eyewitnesses at the fireball scene. What would you like to do?
I propose we continue our search. These leads have me intrigued.
Wait,
So-
which leads?
Search for what?
There was the leads on the puppet that came in and threw the fireball.
Oh, that. Yes, that.
Yes, and you do remember that the puppet is more commonly known as a Nimblewright, and you got word, or Linus remembered that it was. They're generally seen during the Day of Wonders parade, and the Day of Wonders parade is sponsored by the local Temple of Gond, which in this case is the House of Inspired Hands. So would you like to go to the Temple of Gond, or would you like to do a side quest?
Do y'all want to look at the board?
Yep, or you could look at the notice board.
See if that guy's still missing and put him off for another day.
Oh wait, that guy's dead. Let's see. So our options are Emerald Enclave, Zentarum.
You got a lot of stuff to do.
We do have a lot
Lots
of
of ways
stuff.
to go.
These construct deity folks sound of the most interest to me. They may, if nothing else, have techniques that I have not developed.
I think I agree.
You actually have an opinion today, Linus. Very good. You
I
have
think
come
so,
a
or
long
like
way.
whatever you say is also good.
My boy. I do agree though. We should go check them out, see what they have, see if they can help us any.
You talked about the notice board. Do you want to see the notice board on the way there?
Yeah, sure. But first, let's check the notice board because you never know what might come up along the way.
Very well.
Do we know what the Zentarum level 3 mission or the Emerald Enclave level 3 mission are?
Yes, if you click it on Guilds and Factions, you can actually click the Emerald Enclave or the Zentarum and scroll down, and it should be number 2
Oh, okay.
on each one. I'll keep you updated.
You're amazing.
I know, right? Okay, here's your notice board.
Lots of options.
The gray ooze still.
Never fear, indeed.
Frone's bruise is temporarily closed.
I wonder who had to do with that. Did emojis exist? Because I would put a laughy emoji by that. Or LOL.
Oh no, the Great Ooze is still on the loose.
Yeah, guys, we didn't see that gray ooze though, right?
Yeah, what ooze are you talking about?
Oh, that was.
Is it still on the loose, Linus? What do you mean still? We've seen that thing.
I read this earlier today, and it hasn't changed.
Has
Well,
it
you
changed
found out
since this
from the,
morning, Linus? That's a weird thing to point out.
I would say you found out from the Peabodys, but I guess they didn't know what actually killed them, so.
Oh,
I mean, we pretty much found out from them. They just didn't know that we found out.
Hmm.
Also, hey guys, real quick, I just noticed on the notice board, the picture that's on it has all the faction little logo seals and stuff.
Oh my god, I did
Oh.
not notice that.
Totally coincidence, but I'm gonna take credit for that.
Well, you know, I guess
Good
you
for you.
deserve to take credit for it.
Okay. Nothing on the notice board.
nothing. Yeah, nothing
Standing out to me.
intriguing. So let us continue on our way.
Okay, so you're going to the House of Gond, which in Waterdeep is known as the House of Inspired Ham, or the Temple of Gond.
That's in the North Ward or the Sea Ward, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is in the Seaboard.
That's a trip.
Would you like to? Well, it's closer than the Dock Ward, I guess.
Yeah,
but
it's closer than everything else we've been to so far.
technically one street all the way there. What is that?
Look at
Dildorn Street?
there.
Yeah, don't worry.
Do we want to walk it, or how far of a walk would that be?
I'd say you'd probably get there in about 20-30 minutes.
Oh yeah, let's just walk it.
Yeah, that's no problem. We'll walk it.
Come, Linus. Your weak muscles need exercise. And I lump all of our gear onto him.
Oh no.
I can't let Linus carry my gear.
Are you trying to give the poor boy scoliosis?
I wouldn't let him. He can carry your gear, but
Yeah,
Cedric likes to keep a close hand on his.
I don't trust him with it. Look at him.
He's such a thief, the boy. You can never trust boys these days.
Nope.
Same.
In fact, maybe you should carry his gear, Zamados, just in case. I feel like that's a good idea.
Very well. Seems an even enough trade.
No, I meant all of the gear, and his gear, and your gear.
Never.
It's a 19 persuasion, Ben. I think you have to combat that.
I combat it with my will. No.
Let's be on our way, gentlemen, shall we? We've got no time to waste.
Oh, well. That would explain why my internet just went out. Of course. Why wouldn't it go out right about now? Well, I am enjoying how the Artificer is turning out so far. Hmm. I did kind of like being an alchemist, though. Like, not that I dislike what I've got. I kind of like the idea of being, the Githyanki and all of their martial capabilities layered on top of the spellcaster elements of the alchemist felt like a nice mix. But with a different kind of mix. Oh, internet's coming back. I should be in the call any minute now.
It's the North Ward.
He kind of looks around and he says, "Well, yes,
Did that
I
come
did
in?
see one a few
Oh.
nights back.
Did you see anyone with it?
No, it seemed to be looking for something.
Okay. And did you see it come or go towards the North Ward? And about what time?
It was very, very early in the morning. It went towards the north ward. It looked like it came from the sea. It was wearing a very red necklace.
Okay.
Sounds exactly like the one we're looking for.
Did you happen to follow it anywhere?
Oh no, my legs cannot keep up with that. It was prancing on top of all the tiles on top of the buildings. I cannot keep up with that.
Very well.
Sounds like you may be eaten by the grey ooze lurking about. I'd work on that if I were you.
His eyes get wider and he says, "Good to know."
Well, you have a wonderful rest of your day, sir. Thank you for everything you've told us.
Oh, thank you. And he kind of backs away slowly.
Shall we attend his funeral as well when the ooze gets him?
Well, considering he's got two whole old dragons now, he should be able to stay somewhere for a little while. Now let's continue on before people start to think highly of us.
All right, so you continue on, and you get to the corner of Sea-Watch Street and Shark Street in the Sea Ward. And the House of Inspired Hands looks like a cross between a temple and a workshop. The symbol of Gond, a tooth cogged with 4 spokes, is displayed prominently in front, and you see a dark silhouette of a humanoid shape perching on top of the rooftop. It extends an arm, releasing a tiny metal sparrow into the sky. The bird kind of does a few loops in the air, but then veers directly towards you at a high pace. What do you do?
I cover my head.
Hide behind Linus.
I snatch out my great sword and prepare to strike it down.
I try to catch it. Or let it land on me, perhaps?
You want me to roll an attack roll?
I want you to roll initiative, actually.
Ugh.
Oh
lovely.
gosh. Can't do that until we have our tokens though.
I mean,
That's true.
we could, or maybe could we? I don't know.
We can
You
just
can't
roll
click
it.
the token and have it go to the
It won't be put in there, but it'll be there.
Yeah.
Just to see who kind of goes first. Everyone mentioned a different thing.
Potato.
Last.
I mean, I wasn't actually planning on hiding behind Linus. I was being facetious, I guess would be the best word to say.
Yeah.
Well, Urso gets to go first. So, what do you plan on doing?
I mean, the bird looks hostile, right?
It is very tiny, but it is veering straight towards you.
Does it look like it's like holding a note like we've had happen several times?
No.
Then I would just wait for it to get closer and see if it attacks first.
Yeah, I mean, it was let out. It looks like it was let out to go look for somebody, and it looks like it's already found it.
So you all just want to let it run its course and see what happens?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I want to try and catch it or let it land. You know, something along those lines. Like if it looks like if it's gonna hit me, I want to like try to grab it. Obviously.
I'm pretty sure it's an arrow, and I'm about to die.
A sparrow arrow. I like it.
So as it's running its course, it veers straight towards Diero, actually, and immediately attacks.
What did I do?
It obviously misses, it crashes to the ground, and is destroyed upon impact.
What?
I look at its remains.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's pick it up and see what's going on with this thing.
Oh, it's kind of cute.
Aw.
You notice now that the humanoid type creature that was on top of the building has now withdrawn into the temple's attic.
Did we get a good look at the thing that released it?
Roll perception. Let's find out.
Oof.
Oof, indeed.
We're banking on you, Linus.
I don't know if I'm looking at it though, because is it say come out yet?
This was to see if we saw it before it attacked us, I guess.
Oh.
Linus did. He's very observant. Linus saw that it was not a human, but it did have a humanoid type shape, but a very mechanical movement to it.
And it's
Okay.
you said it's on the roof, right?
Yes, well, it was on the roof, but it has now withdrawn into the temple's attic.
How high is that roof?
I would say 3 stories.
I probably can't jump that.
No, you can't.
I mean, I literally have the jump spell once a day, so...
How far does that let you jump high? 3
it...
stories is 30 feet vertical.
Yeah, even with jump, I wouldn't be able to get it in one go. It triples my jump distance, though.
I think we just take the thing in and ask which child here decided to throw their toy at me.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Ending on it or something while we take it in.
So I can do the same thing again?
Stand aside!
Clearly wasn't. It was just a bird thing.
I mean,
These mechanical devices are my specialty. And I look it over, and I want to... Can I make like an Arcana check on it?
Yeah.
Do I have any sort of advantage?
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
I want to just get a general idea of what its purpose might have been, because it seems to be a pretty poor offensive weapon from what we've seen. So if it wasn't actually trying to attack us, what was it meant to do?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll. You can tell that it was not trying to attack you. That it looks like it was meant to fly and just soar through the air for a little bit, but it failed its purpose.
Oh.
It just fell.
Well, we'll just take it into the kid, or whoever it is. Be like, hey.
Poor craftsmanship. It couldn't even accomplish the one thing it was designed for.
Yeah, maybe it was made by a beginner.
Alright, so, I guess we'll hop inside.
We gotta go in there
Okay.
anyway.
All right. Inside the Temple of Gond, you can tell that it is open from sunrise to sunset. There's a lot of activity during daylight hours. The main hall of the temple holds 24 marble pedestals. Each one bears a prize-winning invention or miniature model of some other extraordinary creation. And if you would like to see what it is that you find, everyone can roll a D100 and see what you find. Or sorry, not a D100, a D20. D20.
Can still do that. Oh, I forgot the slash.
Rolling 20.
Stop. There we go.
Yay, I
Close
rolled
enough.
a 9.
Yeah, let's see. I want to roll. Woo! Lowest number? No, not lowest.
All right, Linus, you find a 4-foot tall working model of a clock tower that rings at the top of each hour. It's made of wood, iron, bronze, and glass, with brass bells and delicate hands formed from solid gold.
Ooh. Just gonna look it over.
Wait, I have 2 from Linus.
The one, well, the 20 is not a real 20. The D, like,
Oh, okay. That's let's see who's next. Cedric. You find a wooden flying machine that has wings that flap when it becomes airborne. Urso finds a miniature model of a mechanical dragon turtle. And it has a brass plate affixed to the pedestal that reads Big Belchy, sank in Deepwater Harbor on the Day of Wonders in 1363 DR.
How long ago was that about?
A few hundred years. I think we're in 17 something, maybe 14 something.
I set it back down. Leave it.
So it's at least 100 years ago. And Diero finds a functional waking helmet equipped with small articulated metal arms and hands that gently slap the wearer if he or she falls asleep.
Wow. I need one of these in real life.
And Zamados. You find a miniature model of a red submarine shaped like a manta ray that has a brass plate affixed to its pedestal that reads a Scarlet Marpinoth. Lantanese submersible, launched in 1489 DR. And that was fairly recent.
These wonders have far to go if they are to ever compete with what the Illithids create.
Yes. Let's not get too distracted, though, friends. We did come here for a purpose.
Yeah, but this helmet, though.
Yes, but this helmet, though.
You are met by a dragonborn priest directly in front of you. She says, "Good morning. My name is Valletta. What can I help you with?"
Well, as we were approaching your building here, a mechanical thing or another came out of your attic and threw this bird at us. And I motioned for whoever's holding it to show it to them. We were just wondering, for what reason this would have happened.
And as he's saying that, I hold the thing out, like between my finger and my thumb, and it's just kind of like barely pinched there, and it looks all pathetic and sad, and I give it this look of disapproval.
That's Nim. He is our Nimblewright that lives upstairs.
Okay.
Hang on, and I shall lead you to him. Follow me.
Sure.
Urso, have you imbued us with any of your magic lately?
You can take that as a no.
Yeah, have you cast Aid on any of us lately?
I probably should. I'll give it to Cedric, Diero, and Zamados.
That should put me at 29 hit points then.
My sheet's doing that thing where I can't scroll down. You're gonna have to give me a second till I actually cast it. All right, there we go.
Oh, and I call up my mechanical hound, and or rather, it looks like a drake, but it's basically the mechanical hound. And I try not to show my smug satisfaction of how much better it is than most of this other garbage.
So as you go up the stairs, all the way up to the attic, you see that Valletta tries to open the door, but she can't. Oh no, he's fitted it with a new lock again. Oh, I don't have a key to open this one.
That's not a problem. Hopefully, we'll be able to figure a way in.
Do any of you have thieves' tools?
Zamados is already on it.
My shoulder's a thief's tool.
Are they, though?
My shoulder.
Nice, that was actually exactly what you needed. You are able to open the door, but you do not currently see Nim at the moment, but you do see his hat poking up from behind all the clutter.
I tell my mechanical hound, fetch! And I point at the hat.
I mean, he already tried to attack us, Ben. Is that wise to just let him do that?
Was it really an attack, or?
Well, if it's who I'm thinking it is, then I mean...
We don't know. Well, I mean, we don't really know for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I would rather
up there.
talk to it first.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to end up like the iRobot scene where Will Smith finally finds the guy hiding in the workshop. You know, and we have to bust out a window and fall through stories. I'm not about that life.
Yeah. Plus, I don't want to drive an Audi.
Very well. And just as my hound is about to go in, I pull it back.
I say, Valletta, would you like to go in, or shall we lead the way? Has he had fits with you before?
Oh no, he's really quite sweet. He just sometimes doesn't understand what he does.
Sure thing.
Nim, come on out here.
Sounds defective to me.
She says,
The irony of you saying that, Zamados.
she strongly urges Nim to come out from behind the clutter. And you quickly understand that he does not speak common. But he has developed his own simple sign language with her. And she starts asking him questions, and he signs the answer back. And she relays back to you that he is very sorry that she says he's very sorry that the bird was defective and flew towards you. He did not mean for that to happen.
No harm done here.
She said that he built it to ease his loneliness. That and she kind of stopped for a second. And she said, Nim, did you just say that you built another Nimblewright?
What?
And you see that Nim nods, but he nods very, very reluctantly.
I push through Valletta. Well, I guess that'd be a bad idea, but where did he go? Where is he? He doesn't understand, does he?
He can understand Common, but he cannot speak it.
Okay.
And Nim starts signing again, and Valletta says that she said it looks like Nim's creation fled in confused terror about a month ago, and he has not seen it since. And in light of this revelation, Valletta very angrily calls downstairs, and she calls to some of the other clerics and acolytes, and she says, "You know what, Nim? I am tired of putting up with this. I am going to have everything of your tools and your unfinished inventions removed from this room, and you will be forced to look at what you are giving up because of this."
Oof.
God.
And she pulls Nim out of the room.
This is like when you're at a friend's house and their mom starts yelling at them.
I whisper to, is Urso up there with us?
Yeah, I'm up there. I just forgot to drag my token.
I whisper to Urso to follow them. And I'm going to start rummaging through all his stuff.
I give you a look of like a "are you sure" kind of thing, but alright.
I will do likewise.
Look for anything that could link him, if it was him, or maybe he didn't make it and he's trying to like lie to us to prove that it wasn't him that did it, that he's like, oh, I made another one and that one went rogue.
Do
I'll
I
think
need to
about-
roll stealth to follow them, or are they just like alright with me following them?
No, she's all right with you following, and she's actually all right with you looking around. You can take whatever you want.
I'll stay with Cedric and help.
Is this an investigation? Yeah, I was about to say investigation. I don't find a thing.
Zamados does. Zamados finds what looks like a 1-foot-long copper contraption with an umbrella-like metallic protrusion at the end.
So, is there any chance that I would recognize what it might do?
No. But you can detect magic.
I don't have that prepared.
If you give me 10 minutes, sure.
Very well.
Or I also have identify, if that also works. I don't know.
This is pretty specific.
Okay. Do we have 10
Discern
minutes
the
to
magic, Linus, and I hand it off to him. I'm sure it won't kill you. You'll be fine.
And during this 10 minutes, you can see that other things are continually brought out of his room and stashed away in a separate place in the House of Inspired Hands to be rid of later.
Is that a body?
You just now noticed that?
I've had my thing zoomed out pretty far.
So is that part of like the dungeon tile, or is that like, is there an actual dead body there?
Would you like to investigate it?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Like, do you want us to act? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, do we need to roll?
Maybe that's what caught my eye first, and that's why I was unable to find anything else.
You go over to the corpse, and while it looks extremely lifelike, upon picking it up and moving it around, you do see that it is made of plastic. And but you also notice that it has a hat and a scarf on, and a little slice of bread sticking out of its mouth, as if it was waiting for tea, possibly to give him some comfort in his loneliness.
He had a mannequin as a play toy. He's
I can
playing.
relate. I mean, that's weird.
I mean, yeah. Interesting.
I would say that your 10 minutes are up if you would like to cast Detect Magic.
Absolutely. I will click that button.
So what exactly do you see?
Basically, just if it's magical, it emits like an aura, and I can tell what school of magic the item is from.
Okay, you do see an aura around this contraption, and it is an aura of divination.
And it's some kind of rod.
Yes.
A rod, eh?
Point it at the wall and try something.
Can I make like an Arcana check to see, like with this knowledge now, if I might be able to know what it is?
You could,
All right,
or you could just ask him.
I'm going to assist him in
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Let's just go ask him.
I mean, sure.
Actually, did Urso get a vision? No, he didn't see it, did he?
Urso is not in the room. No.
Yeah. Can I describe it to Urso and Urso ask him?
Sure.
Because Whisper goes that far.
I always forget you have that.
Well, if Zomados is going that way, we'll just let Zomados say.
Let Zomanos take it with them. That's fine. Does anything else in the room show up or glow? Anything else magical?
Does
Nope,
he have any
that
like
is it.
thieves' tools that we can take?
Everything else in the room is either broken or unfinished. It does not look as if anything else is of value.
Me.
You can see a lot of spare parts, collected pieces, of things he's tried to put together to try to create a friend.
Nim. What manner of sorcery is this? And I hold out the rod.
Nim signs his answer, and Valletta says, Nim says he built this device, to find the errant Nimblewright, and tried to seek it out, only to discover that he does not have the ability to leave the temple grounds. But he says that it works in a way. It is. He calls it a Nimblewright detector. To activate it, you must hold down its trigger, and if it comes within 500 feet of a Nimblewright other than Nim, the umbrella begins to spin, whir, and click, and will continue to accelerate as the distance to the target lessens. Its maximum velocity and volume, when a Nimblewright other than Nim is within 30 feet of the device.
How do we know it's at maximum velocity?
It won't spin any faster than it is.
Yeah, but like once things get to a certain RPM, it's kind of hard to tell how much faster it's been. Oh, that's fancy.
Cool.
Nim, do you mind if we take this to go find that errant Nimblewright?
Valletta answers for him without even looking at him. You can take anything you want. And you know what? If you are able to track down this wayward Nimblewright yourself, then I will speak on behalf of the House of Inspired Hands and pay you 500 dragons to destroy it.
Done!
Very well.
And you must return with proof of its destruction.
Oh, it will return with most of the corpse if we can.
Is that truly a good idea, though? If you were
I
to
didn't say
leave
we
it...
would leave it here. I said
Good.
we would show it to them.
It would take time, but I imagine he might be able to reconstitute it.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell us about this thing, Nim?
Nim solemnly shakes his head and watches as everything is pulled out of his room.
I really feel bad for this thing, but... Valletta, I have another question. Would you happen to know where, a necklace of fireballs, per se, could have been obtained?
A necklace of fireballs? No, we would not keep anything like that here.
Very well. I look at Nim, and you? Since he's making these flying things, I don't know if like one swooped down and stole something and brought it back to him. Because if he can't leave the temple grounds, how's he getting all these things?
Oh, he takes these things from what is left along the temple grounds when people bring stuff in, and they leave it here.
Fair enough.
But Nim signs to Valletta in earnest, and he says that he's never seen anything of what you are describing. And he would never make anything that was intentionally bad.
Cedric nods. Very well. We will be back, hopefully sooner rather than later, with proof of this destroyed Nimblewright. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good day as well.
Sounds to me like this thing escaped. Maybe someone hijacked it and they're using it for their own nefarious purposes.
It's kind of what it sounds like.
Yup. Because if Nim was lonely and that thing was scared and confused, you know,
Yeah.
he could have just been picked up by the nearest person and be like, hey, you're cool, come hang out with us.
Well, now it is a problem, and we paid a pretty price to end it.
Yes, but where has it gone? We have no more as to where it could have went.
We know that it came from the sea, apparently. And we have a means to better discern its location. And I start clicking the rod, the Nimblewright detector.
As you activate it, nothing happens.
Alrighty.
Maybe we should go back to the North Ward. I mean, that's where we saw it last.
Very well. I guess let's go back to the North Ward then.
Okay. Let's see. As you are walking back to the North Ward, as soon as you get there, a large scurry of rats goes down the street, headed towards Troll Skull Alley.
Oh, I don't like that.
Would you like to keep going?
Yes, I run after the rats to see where they're specifically going. Hopefully they're not trying to send rats into our tavern.
Would you like to head back to your tavern or follow the rats?
I would like to follow the rats. What does everyone else want to do?
I mean, I definitely don't trust the fact that there's like rats moving around. I want to follow them.
Yeah.
We know the rats have issue with us. I say we follow those rodents.
Quickly then, let's go. We have no time to waste.
The rats run in between a building and into a hole underneath the building.
What building does it lead to?
It is on the corner of Delzerin Street and Windborne Way.
Wait, like rats or like were rats?
Well, this house.
Roll perception. See if you saw them before they went.
Oh no.
Nice. You can tell that they were regular rats.
We should warn the people who live here.
Yeah, that a whole scurry of rats are under their building.
Yeah.
Let's knock on the door.
Wait until the rats kick them out, and then we buy their house at cheaper.
Maybe.
Soon we'll own the whole alley.
Only because Cedric knows that the Froon's bruise possibly could be tied to this. He knocks on the door of whoever resides here.
You knock on the door, and you see a sign kind of sway as you knock that says Dale's Daring Didgeridoos. And
It's an oddly specific shop.
and as you walk in, you do see that there are a ton of the very long didgeridoos leaning against the wall, and some hanging from the ceiling as well.
Oh, I'm buying one of these. You guys are gonna love this in the middle of the night.
No, I am
sure
gonna
they
buy
are.
one of these.
We'll create a didgeridoo band, Cedric.
Yeah, we'll call it the Didgeridon'ts.
Damn you! I was gonna say that. You're a bitch, Matt.
You are met by a oddly very small halfling who says, "Welcome! I am Dale, the daring didgeridoo master. Are you here for some didgeridoos?"
Yes and no. So, a bunch of rats just ran into a hole under your building, and I was going to let you know that you might have a massive rat infestation.
Oh no. Well, that's good to know. Maybe I can scare them away with my didgeridoo. You never know.
Please do.
There's a basement.
I do have a basement. That is where I create all of my didgeridoos.
Can we go take a look to see if these rats are down there?
Oh no. That is top secret work.
Well, then, would you like to go look and see if all these rats are down there? There were quite a many. Did we get a number of, like...
There was a swarm of them. We couldn't even count how many there was.
Oh dear. Well,
Look, just let one of us go with you, just in case there's too many of them.
oh no, I think I'll go on my own. Thank you. My wife can handle it. That won't be a problem.
Your wife?
Why, yes. Am I too handsome to be married?
Yes,
You
that
should
is
go
this.
check those rats.
That is
And
exactly
also
it.
Cedric.
Oh.
Now, go check the rats before he starts talking.
From downstairs, you hear a large thump that shakes the entire house. And you can see the didgeridoos that are hanging ever so perilously from the ceiling start to sway back and forth.
Oh no.
Well,
Go
if you
check.
really
This sounds...
don't want our help, then there's really nothing we can do.
Yep, he said he doesn't want to help. We'll just wait here for a minute.
And if not, then we can attend another halfling funeral.
What is it? What do you have against halflings?
Nothing, it's just entertaining that the halfling families we meet tend to end up dead.
I'm more curious as to what his wife looks like. If she can handle something like that.
The halfling coughing business in the city must be so rich.
I go towards the thump. If you won't, at least I want to see what this
No,
top
Cedric,
secret
he said
warehouse
not to.
is. Yes, exactly. He said not to. But
Pointing at you, Cedric.
I promise that's not where I'm going.
Uh-oh. you then?
I'm just looking for some water or something. You know, I'll be right back.
As as you go towards the stairs and head on down, you see a very large half-orc woman
Oh my.
in a bright blue dress thumping a mace on the floor. And she goes, "Haha, I got another one!" And you can see various rat tails and blood and things splattered against the wall.
Are they even capable of having children?
Ben, you're not there. You don't know what I see. Does it look like they're doing well enough on their own?
The rats?
No, the half-orc lady. Like
she
she's not
seems
being
to be-
swarmed by them, right?
She seems to be enjoying herself. Roll perception.
Sure. Oof.
That's all you find.
I'm gonna sit here and watch this for a little bit. This is kind of entertaining.
As you are watching, you do notice that various rat corpses are flying across the room. And she seems to be possibly luring them in with various types of cheeses and breads and stale meats. So that way she can kill them.
All right. Well, I go to leave.
Well, Cedric, what have you
what?
found?
Found nothing. I mean, this is tavern talk. I will discuss this with y'all out there. We don't need any little ears hearing us.
Very well, very well.
The mice?
We both have issues with halflings. What is it with you two?
I will be with you soon. I need to purchase a didgeridoo.
That too. Once we get some didgeridoo, we will be on our way.
Yeah, what do we roll to find the perfect didgeridoo? Is that a perception?
Investigation?
Yeah, I would say investigation, but since you've been there for a while, you have
Oh.
advantage.
Oh, thank God, because Matt definitely needs a higher roll. Boom, I got a 20.
I'm not really sure what to look for with didgeridoos. They're quite exotic weapons, or instruments.
Well, in your hands it would be a weapon.
Yeah, I definitely purchased a didgeridoo.
So, let's see. Urso, you are able to find a light gray didgeridoo that is hand painted with images of trees and leaves and has an intricate design around the bottom of it. And it is curved just enough that it is absolutely perfect for your height.
How much does it cost?
$50 dragons.
Jesus.
That changed my mind.
Yeah, I slowly put the didgeridoo back. Where's your bargain bin?
Well, you asked for the perfect one.
Oh, I know. I did too good.
He does have some cheaper didgeridoos. And he says, I have some of these that are good for practicing on if you are just getting into the
Practice. I am a very skilled didgeridooer.
So did you even know didgeridoos existed before today?
Yes.
I sure didn't.
I don't think I did very good at that persuasion.
Instead of the light gray one, you do find another one that is wooden, that has 2 bands around the bottom. And this one is 4 gold. 4 dragons.
I'll buy that one.
I'll likewise find a cheap one to buy.
The next didgeridoo you find is all black, and it is. Are you looking along the same guidelines?
Yeah, just with
Along
some
the
green
cheaper
on
route?
it. Yeah, on the
How
cheaper
the
route.
hell do you spell didgeridoo? Oh my god, I spelled it right on accident.
You find an all black one that has a hand painted image of a lizard on the bottom in blue with orange stripes. That one is 20 dragons. And Zamados, you are able to find a white wooden one that has a few knots and things from the tree it was carved from. And it looks to be stained on the bottom in tea. And it has kind of an ombre effect as it goes down. It gets a little bit darker. That one is 8 dragons.
Cedric, would this one be acceptable? And I kind of
Yes,
show
that
to
one.
him.
That one looks much more my speed. Not a big lizard fan. I'll buy that one.
I think this is the first time we've been shopping since we got here. And we're shopping for whatever the hell these things do. I mean, we're
Priorities.
shopping for didgeridoos, something that I knew existed.
Right.
I believe they are used to wake up wizards earlier in the morning than they would prefer.
And I want to blow into my didgeridoo as obnoxiously as possible. I'll just roll a performance for that. Oh my god. Am I a natural?
You see Dale hop up and down on his stool. Excellent, excellent. You really are a professional didgeridooer.
Yes, as I said I was.
And you know Urso's motto, didgeridoo or die.
Is that the title of the episode?
That or Sparrow Arrow.
I like didgeridoo or die more.
Alright, we'll didgeridoo or die.
Speaking of didgeridoo or dying,
Aren't you the bard?
I'm more of a stringed instrumentalist than a throat gurgling instrument vocalist.
Yes. I see that you are coming up with yet another excuse for something, Cedric. That's fine.
Dale, the halfling, kind of puts his finger in and out of one ear and says, "Yes, you should stick to the stringed ones."
Wait, didn't you fail really badly at performing in the
He
last
did.
game?
The entire last game, yes.
Maybe you should look at a different profession.
I high five. Oh
Okay,
my god.
maybe writing.
Yeah, I
try
high five
writing.
Linus for that joke.
That's fine. I'll just change my practice times.
Oh,
You
okay.
just wait, Linus.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sure Linus has some sort of spell that can keep the sounds out of his room.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna cast deafness on myself. Perfect.
Oh, he'll feel a didgeridoo, all right.
Oh god. Oh no, you did don't.
Okay, would you like to continue on?
Yes.
Yes, let's leave this shop.
And you are right next to Troll Skull Alley. Would you like to
Drop
Would
our
you like to check
didgeridoos off at home.
check how your tavern is doing and figure out if you've made a profit or loss this week?
Yes.
Yeah, we should do that.
While we're there, I click every once in a while. I click the nimble right detector again.
As of current, nothing happens. But as you walk in to Troll Skull Manor, you do see 3 strings against the wall, and he says, "Ooh, what have you got there?"
Your new instrument. You must learn to play 3 at once. And
Hold on,
now
man.
that-
He doesn't have 3 lungs.
Yeah, it's 3 strings, not 3 lungs. Still.
I am apparently quite good at this, 3 strings.
He says, "Is it really an instrument?"
I believe so.
that is
Well-
what the halfling would have us believe.
He says, interesting, interesting."
I'd play
play
it
it.
again, but I think it was just dumb luck.
I play it to give an example.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. I can try this. This would be fun. Three Strings also looks over at Zamados, and he says, "What is that strange umbrella thing?"
It is a device used to find other devices.
You see Adelina across the bar say, "That was not very specific. Can you tell me again? What does that do?"
Why are you so keen to know?
She says, "I'm the bartender. It's my job to talk to people."
Yes, yes. It's an item for finding a specific person.
"Oh, what kind of person? I might have seen something come through here."
Uh, doubtful. It's to help us find the rogue Nimblewright.
"Oh,
Have you heard people talk about a Nimblewright running along the roofs lately?
well, I've heard of it, because that happened just right outside, didn't it?"
It did, and that's why we're trying to find out what happened.
Are they like anything from the ones down at the docks?
Very the same.
Oh, okay, okay. Interesting. You know what I did hear? Is that the Day of Wonders parade is coming. I'm so excited.
I know. Wouldn't you just like to go with me, though?
Oh, it would be so fun. You know,
Yes.
I also heard that all the galleons and the ships came in the other day, and they just look so fancy.
The fanciest. I haven't seen one this fancy in, well, since I've been here. Because that's such a long time.
She goes, what I wouldn't give to go down there and just look at the boats at night in the harbor. Oh, it would be great."
Well, when would you like to go?
"Oh, silly, I'm working."
We can let Linus take over for a little while.
Oh, no, we
Oh,
can't.
man.
She's definitely way too good at her job, Cedric.
Oh, please. What would one night be? Obviously, our profits are coming in, right, Adelina?
Well, I'm not really in charge of the money. I
That's
just
fair.
store it and see what happens,
That is quite fair.
and wait for you to pay me.
Very well. Ursa, why don't you go check on our profits this week, or the lack thereof? Hopefully, they are as good as last.
Oh, I'm certain they will be.
Actually, I
Unless,
think
of course,
Linus
you've
would
been
be
in here for
better.
Business hours.
Hey, we
Linus
all
might be better. I agree with that, actually.
Linus would be much better at keeping the books. Linus, go round out the math for us, please.
Yeah. That's actually what I wanted to do.
Oh, very well. Oh, look, he actually gotten a job that he likes to do. Such a studious young lad. But yes, Adelina, Zamados or somebody could watch. Yeah, I mean, even Three Strings could tend the bar for a little while.
Please tell me you did not actually just recommend Zamados as a bartender.
I did.
No offense, Zamados.
I will fight the compulsion to chop off our patron's hands, and I will give my best performance.
Okay, so you should go sit in the corner for now.
Okay, so as we are going to figure out if you have a profit or expense for this week, does anyone want to spend any of the downtime that they had doing any of the professions?
I do.
Helping around the tavern.
I'll do
Management.
whatever I can do.
I don't remember any of them.
They're on the tavern profit and expenses thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll
I
do-
believe that Zamados, since you were not here for the fighting of the scarecrows, you have an automatic 3 days worth that you can do something with for your downtime.
I will do. Let's see. Promotion, I think, and do investigation.
Okay? Go ahead and roll it. Nice. You give it a +5 bonus when we roll for everything.
Who's next?
Anyone else want to try anything? Do you want to spend 5 days on a task?
Yes.
Or would you like to instead try to promote the business around town using your
I'll
12
go
dragons?
I'll go promotion and use persuasion. Of course, I can't roll for crap today.
That's still a +3. Yeah, +8
Can I
so
give
far.
myself a bardic inspiration for that?
No, it doesn't work that way.
I'll do entertainment, and I'm gonna do deception for it.
Yes, this is exactly what a didgeridoo is supposed to sound like. Why are you questioning me?
No, I'm gonna do roast comedy.
Oh God! And it's all
Alright.
about me, probably.
You're up to a +23 so far.
That's probably more than enough.
So the one of the managers here, Cedric, huge piece of shit, right? Everybody laughs.
And then, if you would like to spend any dragons on promoting around town, you can increase your profit multiplier by 1.
For how many gold spent?
For 10 dragons, it'll increase it by 1 for a maximum of 50 dragons total.
Alright, so I'll fork over 10.
I mean, we're already at +23, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So that's only gonna give it to plus, like, what, 24?
Well, no, the +23 will help you when when we roll on the D100 table for running a business.
Oh, right.
So when we roll D100 plus 10, it becomes D100 plus 20 or plus 33.
Okay.
You have to
I
roll a
getcha.
67
I'll
or
throw
higher.
10 dragons in too for promotion.
Yeah, we should all just. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's up to you said to a maximum of 50 GP,
Mm-hmm.
we should all just put in
Alright.
10 GP.
I tossed in my 10 dragons. That's 1. And then Jake's doing his 10.
Yep.
And are we all
Okay.
just going to do 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that
can.
then.
I mean,
Okay.
rephrase. Dev, would you like to put in 10?
I guess.
And then we'll just take 10 from Linus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, someone want to roll a D100 plus 33?
Oh. Ooh.
Nice. So that 33 really helped you out. So
Yeah, we made a bunch of profits.
the business covers its own maintenance cost for each of the days, and you have earned a profit of 2d8 times 5, but then your profit multiplier is increased by 5, so 2d8 times 10. So let's go ahead and roll that.
Oh.
So 130 dragons is what you make as a profit.
Nice, and that's just straight profit.
Straight profit.
Because like by like resources, what you meant, like it covers itself every day, doesn't
Yeah.
even
Mhm.
include employee wages, right?
That's the
That-
expenses, right?
Yep, that does include the employee wage. That includes everything, from the meat to the wine to the wages, the
To the human resources officer we're gonna have to hire because of Cedric.
the
I'm sure there's a
Dunseeper
guild for that.
So yeah, that's everything. And you made a profit of 130 dragons on top of that.
Do we want to split that or keep it like in the
Let's
tavern?
put it in a like tavern fund.
We have a
Okay.
tavern fund.
We do.
Let's leave it there and come to it when we need the money. Have it be like a cushion.
Again, we just made 130 gold from doing nothing. Why are we even adventuring?
It's a very good question.
Because I have a bloodlust that cannot be quenched any other way.
Okay.
Yes, there's that. It wouldn't be a normal day without that.
I mean, I was just
A
gonna say
normal
it's
day without
fun.
Zamados telling us about murder.
Speaking of which, we have a nimble right to attend to. And I start clicking the thing.
Very well.
Nothing happens when you click it.
Alright, we head towards the docks. That's where she said the ships were coming in, and that's where all the nimble rights were working the most, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, docks.
Getting ready for the Day of Wonders parade.
Yep, docks.
That thing is designed to detect nimble rates other than Nim, right?
Yes.
Isn't it going to go haywire if we take it there?
It's gonna go, yeah. It'll go haywire towards every nimble right we find.
Yeah.
But we know which one specifically we're looking for.
Okay.
Unless he's sentient enough to change clothes. We saw what he looked like, right? The other night?
Yeah.
Or we got a description from somebody of what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all want to try one of the side quests? Because one of them looks pretty easy. The Zentaran one does.
Did we ever even find that missing guy?
Nope.
He'll be alright for another day.
I think we've said that like 30 times now.
Meh. What's one more day? He's probably dead anyway.
If only you'd gotten here 22 days sooner.
Oops. Yeah, we can do the Zentarum Guild.
I do wish to rise the ranks.
This does give me the real feel of playing an RPG game. Like we just keep dropping everything to go do something else.
Okay, so you want to do the next Zentara mission? Is that correct?
Yes, that sounds intriguing.
Okay, so you're headed to the trades ward instead.
Yes.
Alrighty.
We'll stop at in the trades ward as we make our way to the.
A reasonable compromise, as I do wish to stay on track.
Hang on, I'm just looking for something on the map real quick. But I don't think they included it. No, maybe they didn't. Okay. So you go to the trades ward, and there is a shop that you are able to just go ahead and walk into. The sign on the door reads Weird Bottles Concoctions. And there's a little gnome who pops out from behind a desk and says, "Welcome. What can I do for you?"
Have you got any skooma?
Skooma. While I have heard of such things, but I do not currently have them.
Well darn. We do have another question. We've heard you need to get some potions sent to somebody.
Ah, yes. And whom, by chance, would I need to send them to?
Just one who catches gods.
Ah, I see what you are saying now. Yes. And he stands up, reaches behind his little desk, and places 4 very small poison potions into a silk-lined coffer. You can tell, however, that they don't look quite right.
Well, what do you mean?
What do you mean by they don't look right?
Roll perception.
Oops, I clicked the wrong one.
Oh,
Minus.
Nice.
Yay.
Yes, Linus can tell right away that that they are definitely potions of poison. However, he remembers that you're not supposed to be picking up potions of poison.
Are you sure those are right? Because I don't. I've seen potions of mind reading before, and these look different.
now that he
Yeah.
mentions it, they do appear off.
He said, "Would you like to smell or taste them to prove that it's right?"
I pull the stopper out on one. I said, or I could just, throw it on you.
Oh, no. Those, they're expensive. No,
Oh.
don't do that.
Expensive, or are they deadly? And I kind of slosh it towards him a little bit.
I thought you were supposed to be delivering these to a client for me. Is this not true?
This is true, but we were told they were a specific type of potion and not something such as this.
Well, this is what I have. You can either pick up the potions and go, or leave them here.
Oh, did you brew them with a different ingredient? Is that why they're different?
No, they are most certainly potions of mind reading. Yes, they are.
Maybe the ingredients are just old and that's why it looks different. I believe him.
I believe I will start cutting off digits if we don't get the truth soon. And I grab his arm, and I pull out a little dagger, and I inch it closer to his fingers.
Can we go one day without threatening to remove someone's limbs?
No.
Or,
We just
we
threatened
could,
to remove the limbs of our customers too, remember?
I mean, why cut them off when we could just drip some of this on them and find out what happened?
A far more subtle idea. I like it. And I don't like prepare to nip like the end of his finger. I would spread him out a little bit, and I go for the little flap of skin between his fingers.
Fine, fine. They are potions of poison. They are.
Gasp!
But you
Cedric
said they were
actually
mind
says
reading.
that. And why did you create potions of poison as opposed to poison, the correct potion?
Well, I don't see how that's any of your concern. This is what she
Ah.
asked for.
Considering they could accuse us of having swapped them out.
Uh-oh, did my internet cut out? Uh-oh, oh no. It sounds like my internet's about to cut out. Oh no. Well, it sounds like we just got some free potions of poison. Hey, I'll take them. If nobody else wants them. That's the plan. Yep. Internet's gone. Alright, so... This is interesting. I like this one. Someone got potions of poison. Claimed to ask for mind-reading potions, but they asked for potions of poison. I do wonder... Ah, here we go. It's coming back.
Oh,
Then let's...
Okay, my internet cut out for like a whole minute, so what just happened?
He's actually telling the truth about he was hired to make potions of mind reading that... or potions of poison that look like and smell like and all that stuff. Of potions of whatever. He did the right thing.
Alright.
Yes, his client has requested 4 potions of poison that look, smell, and taste like potions of mind reading. And what his client plans on doing with them, he does not know.
Very well. And I release his arm.
I put the stuff back in my bag. Next time, you could be a little more forthcoming. I say as I flourish my cape and walk out.
He kind of humps at you and walks away.
Alright, let's deliver these things.
Alright, where are you going?
To the... I already closed out the page.
The Castle Ward. We must locate a lady in purple.
We're gonna go to the Godcatcher enormous statue thing in the castle ward. And then we're gonna go to the Great Drunkard. That sounds like fun.
Alright, so as you go along Soul Street and Herd Lane, you do see a giant, enormous statue that is towering above all the buildings. It is the Godcatcher statue, one of the many statues in Waterdeep that help give it its name. Beneath the Godcatcher statue is a hire coach with a lady in a hooded purple cloak seated on the back of it. She sees you approach and automatically holds out her hand for your silk-lined coffer.
Is there anything special about the purple coat? Like any insignia or anything like that?
Roll to see what you find. Yes, you do see that there is a small insignia on her coat. But from here, it is hard to tell what it is. But do you hand her the coffer?
Who's carrying it?
I am. Yeah, I do.
As soon as she gets it in her hand, she gives you a black velvet pouch in exchange and immediately orders her driver to depart. And she heads north.
Do we want to follow her? Nah.
The black velvet pouch also has an insignia on it, and it is of a black winged snake.
Is it the same insignia that was on her person?
It is the same color, yes.
Oh my god.
And inside the pouch contains 15 platinum pieces.
Oh my god.
And she says, as she was heading off, she says, "Keep the tip." All Zimtarum characters gain 1 renown.
I like this organization.
As I'm holding the pouch and I count through it, I'm like, huh, there's only 7 in here. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
Oh,
god.
I was about to, but no. That was a hard truth for me.
Okay, it is getting to be evening time. Would you like to stay the night back at Troll Skull Tavern, or continue on to the dock ward?
The dock ward.
How long till this parade thing is here?
At least a few more days.
Okay, then we'll continue on to the dock ward.
Okay. As you get down there, you do see exactly what Adelina was talking about earlier. You have 3 very large galleons that have made their way into the Great Harbor. 2 of which are positioned at the dock ward, and 1 is anchored off of Deepwater Isle.
This must be what she's talking about.
Let me see if I can find a picture for you. I think I have one, actually.
I start clicking my device.
As you press the activation button, it does seem to immediately start to click. Very slowly, the umbrella starts to turn.
Holy
Ooh.
hell. Loud as hell.
I start to follow it, and I gain a gleeful, a thin smile that creeps across my cheeks, and I just start to kind of, I tilt left and right with it as I continue to click it, and when I follow it. Whenever it gets starts to move faster, I go in that direction. I use it.
Which direction do you want to head to first? Like the ship area or like the dock area?
let's go to the dock area, I think, first.
Like around the buildings?
Yeah.
As you are going near the buildings, you can tell that the clicking and the whirring and the umbrella start to spin a little bit slower.
Okay, so we go back towards the ships then.
All right, so as you're going towards the ships, you come out on Net Street, and you are at the corner of Net Street and Dock Street when your nimble right detector starts to spin and whir a little bit louder and a little bit faster.
Now we're making progress. Follow me. And I start to pick up my pace and follow it more attentively.
The closer you get to the Hellraiser galleon, the faster it seems to spin.
All right. I guess we follow it until we get to the Hellraiser galleon. Yeah, we do that.
Okay? It is not quite dark enough yet in order to sufficiently sneak. So what would you like to do now that you are next to the Hellraiser galleon?
I
can
want to.
make someone invisible.
How many people are there?
On the dock, I would say enough that it's not enough that it's crowded, but enough that you're not alone. You can tell people are starting to pack up their things for the evening. The fishermen are reeling their lines back in, and people are starting to head home.
Okay. And is there anyone on the Hellraiser galleon that we can see?
Yes, you can visibly see people walking back and forth.
I click the thing and point directly at the Hellraiser galleon.
Oh, I found it.
Ooh.
So, just out of curiosity, are there a lot of tieflings on the Hellraiser galleon?
From what you can see, everyone looks human.
No emblems of Asmodeus anywhere?
You can roll perception to look.
I think I'll do that.
You see no emblems.
Alright, I guess we wait out until night then. Sound good to
Is
everybody
there
else?
more than one way off the boat?
You do see that there is a ladder that is draped over the side of the ship. Otherwise, you do not see, as of this point, any other way onto the ship.
Okay. Sure, let's just wait here. Try and make it less obvious that we're just hanging out. I'm working still. That's what I'm doing. You know, late nights.
Play me up, Cedric, and I start to try and do a performance.
Didgeridoo?
Yeah, I start to do one of my performances, like a routine of weapon strikes. You know, things that something that I picked up in the gladiator business to look like I'm, this cool performer. I don't know. I guess that's what I'm doing. Shut up. I am very average at it. Alright, but that's all we're doing.
So, as night falls, I would say you have sufficient cover to at least have advantage if you would like to sneak, or you can just climb aboard the ship if that is what you would like to do as well.
Is there anyone looking right now?
I would assume that you're smart enough to not climb the ship while people are looking.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Zamados has
Sure.
great stealth.
I'm gonna do this for
And Cedric.
myself.
Oh, you said with advantage, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll go with the 21.
Linus has invisibility.
I guess I still roll a
And-
stealth check though, right? Let me do that.
Oh, yeah, I guess
He's
so,
just
because
not
you would
quiet.
still hear them. Yeah.
Yeah. And we said with advantage. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Look at you.
Oh, thank God.
And Urso, actually, you do pass the stealth check. And Diero, would you like to roll?
Should I really? Like,
Or do you
got-
want to stay there and be a lookout?
Yeah, I'll stay lookout. I mean, all it would do is cancel out my stealth, and it's not very good.
Oh, and I definitely would have cast 8 again at this point, so Diero, Cedric, and Zamato still have the 5 more HP.
Cool.
No way I'm letting you guys not have that shit right now.
Yeah, Diero, you can hang out with my mechanical hound.
Oh,
I'll whisper to him if we need his help. How's that sound?
good idea.
That makes sense. I like it.
He's the kind of lookout.
All right.
Oh no. It got quiet.
As you climb up the ladder to the Hellraiser galleon, you are able to see at least 4 of the ship's mates walking along the upper deck. Or, sorry, the main deck. And unfortunately, this map is so intricate, I cannot do Fog of War. So, you get a sneak peek.
So where are we in conjunction to
This boat
them?
is freaking huge.
You're in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh, okay.
You are climbing up the ladder, and you can see over the side before you decide to hop onto the ship. And you do see that people are pacing back and forth and just kind of going about their business for the day. Would you like to continue to try to get on the ship?
Of course.
Who do we lose?
Jake.
Yeah, so we're all getting on the ship, is that correct?
Yep.
Alright.
All right. So far, no one has noticed you. What would you like to do next?
I find some cover and I click the thing again, presuming it doesn't make too much noise.
Currently in front of you, in the center of the ship, you do have 4 rowboats that are tied up with rope so they don't go anywhere. You have stairs to your left and stairs to your right that both lead up and down to different areas of the ship. And then in the center, you can go over to the storage area over here. And there's doors over here that lead to the cabins. Where would you like to hide?
Up sounds interesting.
Like up the stairs right next to you?
Yeah.
All right. That leads over here to this area.
Will follow as well.
And from here, you can see. Actually, you can see quite a few things from here. From here, you can see that there is a figurehead on the front of the boat. And the figurehead is a beautiful elf maiden with pointy ears and long flowing hair. Also from here, you can look down onto the main deck where you just were. And see all the movement that is going on. However, as you look up, you can see over here that there is definitely a sailor looking down upon you and pointing and shouting.
Oh no.
You see another sailor come from behind the ship's wheel. And he's shouting behind him as well.
Can we make out what he says?
From here, yeah, I would say. You are able to hear that there's the word intruder and there's the word cat. What would you like to do next?
Well, our cover's blown, so I just start clicking the things and see which direction it reacts most strongly to.
You can't tell it will go towards, but as you activate your nimble right detector, it is whirring and the umbrella is spinning at a speed you have yet to see before.
We are in the right place.
Yes, but are we? Since they're coming for us, I'm assuming we need to make our way. We have to find it somehow.
You mean, do y'all want me to take the thing and run around, or stay here and...
I mean, it's not gonna spin any faster. We just have to find it.
Oh, true.
Immediately, 4 different sailors converge on your position and yell at you, "What are you doing here?"
My hands are up. I say, no one stopped us to begin with. We didn't think anything was... I mean, you are all down there with us. Why didn't you say something when we got on board?
One of them looks baffled. "I never saw you down there."
Get in your kennel!
That
I'm just gonna
can't
remain
possibly be
invisible.
true.
How did you not see us? We didn't even, like... We just climbed on board. Besides, we're looking for a nimble right that might have gone rogue. Official business and all.
Well, I don't know what you've heard, but everything aboard this trip or aboard this ship is all for entertainment. We have nothing here that is out of sorts. We are attractions, nothing more.
Okay, well then we would like to take a look at a couple of them.
No one comes in contact with anything on our ship without the captain's approval.
Well, what about the I forgot who actually who makes the things, the Temple of the who what now?
The Temple of Gond.
Gond. Even if we were sent here with the approval of the Temple of Gond to find one of their rogue machines?
Nope. We only do what our captain and the owner of the fleet tell us to do.
Well, then let us speak with the captain.
You want to speak to the captain.
Yes, and I believe you will want to take us there. Being that we've done nothing wrong, we climbed on board and you just demanded that we get off without even saying us to not get on in the first place.
One of the sailors looks to another and says, "Inform him. Use a sending spell and let him know that he has visitors." One of the sailors wanders off and goes to speak with a few others.
I whisper to him, I will give you a gold piece if you just say that it's okay for us to talk to him.
Ha! Like anyone says whether it's okay to talk to him, he gives his approval or not.
Yes, but the others don't have to know about this.
Oh, trust me, they will find out.
Your loss. I mean, you could have had four dragons right then, but, you know, whatever.
Just then, the other sailor comes back. And he says he would like to meet with them. He's requesting that they dine with him. Well, do you want to dine with the owner of the fleet?
Very well, take us to him.
Zamados pats himself down and then, kind of nervously, and then finds his bottle of hot sauce and then sighs a sigh of relief, and then nods in agreement.
Was he lying, or, I mean, like, did he seem genuine about it?
He definitely found the hot sauce, that's for sure.
Zamados.
Was who genuine about what?
Was the sailor genuine about us wanting to meet the captain or owner, or is he trying to use that as term, throwing us off the boat?
No, he was being completely truthful.
Okay. Then yes, I follow him. That's more like it.
Says okay, if you say so. You are escorted via a dinghy over to Deepwater Isle on the other side of the harbor.
Oof.
So are we grabbing Diero and my robot?
Yes.
No.
No, damn.
How long does it take to get over to the island?
By dinghy, probably about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. Because as soon as an hour is up, I'm no longer invisible. So I'm like, oh god. I mean, I can cast it again.
I'm gonna just lie to them again and say he was with us the whole time.
I already copied Diero and your Iron Defender. So yes, they are coming. Look at that. are escorted over to the Eye Catcher. You can tell that this is definitely the flagship, and you are welcomed aboard by a bunch of very attractive humans. And you are led to the captain's dining cabin, which is... Hang on, I have to uncover it. Here.
So over this way.
Yep.
I guess I'll break the invisibility once I step through this door. And just kind of be like, oh, I was behind them all along.
You're little.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Because I don't want to like become visible mid dinner and then like have to explain that.
How did I get here?
We picked you up. We yelled, Darrow, come along, and you did.
I guess. Where am I? Oh, there.
All right, as you enter the dining cabin, you see that it is bedecked with golden filigree, the purple curtains festooned with silken tassels. I know I saw that. The purple curtains festooned with silken tassels, the wood paneling scented with perfume. A magnificent feast is laid out on golden platters, and it sprawls atop a mahogany table of exquisite craftsmanship. Even the doilies are something to behold. Standing behind it all, with a wineglass in hand, is a well-built, scantily clad man. His scarlet apparel designed to accentuate his trim figure and bountiful chest hair. A flashy rapier hangs from his stylish belt. Welcome aboard the Eye Catcher,
Oh my god.
he says, flashing his pearly white teeth. Zardoz Zord at your service.
Can Linus die and I play this character instead? Oh my, I can't get over his outfit.
Yeah,
Or lack thereof.
thank you for having us, Captain Zord.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, it is my esteemed pleasure that you are here. You have piqued my curiosity. Tell me all about you.
How about we get right to business as opposed to my life story? There's not much to it.
Well, now that is interesting. Please sit down. Have some wine and some roasted turkey. Look at this, isn't it beautiful? And some grapes. They've come all the way from across the sea with us.
Very
Don't
well.
mind if I do.
We will partake. Do you have you recently seen any? I keep forgetting what they're called.
Nimble.
Nimble
Thingies?
rights.
Yeah, the
right.
nimble right.
Have you seen any nimble rights around here lately?
Oh, yes, you're sitting right next to one.
The captain is a nimble right.
No. No, the Nimblewrights travel aboard our ship. In fact, when they're not marching in the parade, they remain aboard our ship. They're perfectly harmless.
Well, has one gone missing, or have you gained one recently?
No, not at all. We keep the same amount at all times. In fact, he says, Nimblewright, refill everyone's wine glasses, please. And you see the Nimblewright get up and he starts filling everyone's glasses.
Strange. One threw a fireball in the city recently.
Oh, that is strange. That is strange.
And
But intriguing.
the reason that we're here is because this would be a perfect place for a Nimblewright to hide. Considering there are many Nimblewrights amongst you.
It
I
would
would
be.
certainly know if there was a Nimblewright hiding on my ship.
And how is that?
I know everything that happens aboard my fleet.
All of
Even
them?
including you, when you are hanging over the side of my ship.
Very well.
What are you doing aboard my ship? Exactly.
Looking for the Nimblewright that blew a hole in our house. Or nearly that.
All right. Very well.
Would-
Well, I shall tell you something about myself.
Sure, come on.
I own and operate the Sea Maidens Fair. It's a seafaring carnival based in Luskin. We travel all up and down the Sword Coast. We provide good, wholesome entertainment in the form of fantastic street parades. Maybe you've heard of us. We are the Day of Wonders.
Yes, that we have.
Oh, good, you have heard of us. Yes, I use my ships, the Heartbreaker and the Hellraiser, to transport entertainers, wagons, and parade floats. And this is the eye catcher, my flagship. It is my command ship and my private yacht. But of course, all three are built for both comfort and speed.
Yes.
You see, I did visit the land of Lanton about once a year or so, and I believe that's actually when I purchased these Nimblewrights. I got all four of them from this cute little Lantonese wizard. Yes, I do keep two aboard this ship, my flagship, and then one on each of the other two vessels, so that may be what you might have been thinking of.
And we're sure that there's only one on the other boats.
Oh, yes. One on each ship, and then two on this one.
How are you able to see that anyway?
I see everything that is aboard my fleet.
Because that sounds like some wonderful magic to learn.
Oh, what is a captain if he does not know what's going on?
That is fair.
Diero, roll insight. No, sorry, perception.
Okay.
You do notice that you are catching the attention of Zardoz Zord more than the others.
Oh boy.
So what all are you doing in this wonderful city of Waterdeep?
Well, right now, like we told you, looking for this Nimblewright who killed what, 9 people with a single fireball?
Well, that sounds tragic, but that didn't really answer my question. What are you doing in the city right now? Not just searching for something, but I mean, what is your goal?
Gold? Well, I guess to have one of the most successful taverns in the city.
Oh, a tavern. You own a tavern, you say. Tell me more.
I mean, we're located in Troll Skull Alley. If you would like to come visit us, we're the best one over there. We're the only one open over there, for that matter. Speaking of which, we have a bartender who would love to visit your ships one day. Would you mind if we brought her up one night?
brought her?
Indeed.
Oh, she can come anytime.
I imagined you wouldn't deny that.
Oh no, my job as an entertainer is to make people forget about the politics of everyday life for a while. So of course, I am happy to entertain.
Of course, it would be quite drab just being a bartender all day, every day. We'll say, we'll bring her before too terribly long. However, I fear we must probably be leaving soon. Seeing as you don't know of any more of these, Nimblewrights
I'm gonna
aboard
write
your
that name
ship.
down for you.
Yeah, I need to write that down, because I'm gonna keep forgetting.
If you would like to roll insight on him, you are more than welcome to see if he is telling the truth.
I believe every word he's saying.
Of course you do.
I believe every word that man said, because this is what I wanted to hear.
Oh, I don't have advantage. But
I'll incite it.
Diero. Yeah, I was about to say. Diero really needs to know his true intentions.
Unfortunately, all of those rolls failed.
Oof.
So you believe everything he is saying.
He's very charismatic.
Indeed.
Very well. We have tarried here long enough.
I truly understand. You should get back to your tavern, was it?
That it was.
I will. Please come and enjoy the Day of Wonders parade once we have everything unpacked, of course.
Of course. And with that, Cedric stands up to leave.
You are escorted off the ship and dinghied back over to the docks in Waterdeep.
I don't know what to make of that.
I don't either. We're kind of at a stump.
That's some pretty good food.
And we will call it there if you'd like.
Yep, that's a decent
Sounds
part.
appropriate.
Alrighty, everybody out there, thank you for watching. Please remember to chill touch that like button, subscribe to join the skeleton crew, and please check out the links in the description below. It would really help us out. And thank you once again, and we'll see you all next time.